Hi, I know you've been waiting for more episodes of Mic'd Up with Mike. Well, I'm back with new topics that I know you'll appreciate. Hi everyone, and welcome to the first edition of Sounding Off with Mike. I'm very pleased to introduce our guest Tim Guerin from Century Audiovisual. Tim, any problems with getting past security?
Typically, I would say Don's a great bouncer, but it's Monday, so I didn't really see him when walking in the door.
He might still be sleeping in his car. Well, Tim, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you coming down and meeting with us. If it's okay, I got a few questions based off of your interactions with TOA.
Great, shoot.
All right, Tim, so tell us about your introduction to TOA equipment way back when you started in this industry, like long time ago.
Great, so yeah, I started at my current firm, Century Audiovisual, roughly 12 years ago. And I guess my first install, funny enough, was actually involving TOA products. We were doing a chapel downtown Toronto where we were hanging some of the line array products onto, I guess, a brick surface at the chapel. And we were also using, I believe, some DA series amplifiers to amplify those speakers in the chapel. So yeah, that was a great introduction to TOA products for me. There are also a few other smaller installs where we were doing some classrooms with I guess, some ceiling speakers, some of the F-Series ceiling speakers, along with some of the smaller BG Series amplifiers. So yeah, overall a great experience with the products when I first entered the industry.
That sounds really great, Tim. It sounds like a great first experience. So with another question, so when working on installs, you interact with end users before, during, and after the project. What's some feedback you've gotten regarding the performance or the quality or the overall sound of the equipment you've installed?
Well, usually what I would say first off is, I guess typically the longer the time goes from the initial installation is no feedback is actually good feedback because that means the systems are working as intended. But usually after initial installation, we're usually, the clients tell us that they're really happy with the overall performance, the intelligibility mainly from voice, but also great reproduction from the the musical aspects of the systems and the overall tone of the speakers. But again, going back to my first point is reliability for us is key, and that's always been the case with TOA products.
Thanks, Tim. That's really great. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that intelligibility is the key because that's what we strive for. No point in playing something out of a speaker if you don't know what's being said. Next question. So I know there are times when you're working on a project that they can be elaborate and in depth and really complex, and specifically more towards the equipment, but and how it installs, how it gets put together. How do you and your team find working with TOA equipment during an install when you really got to put it all together?
Yeah, great question. Usually, the first thing I would say is we have a lot of confidence in the actual product line and again, in the TOA staff at head office in Canada here. They're very receptive to providing quick customer support. Usually when we're going through an integration, there's usually something we need to, I guess, go back to you guys on and reference or get some additional instruction on how to configure something like a SIP card or possibly some custom programming on M9000 series digital mixer. But yeah, it's always it's a great experience integrating the products because we know we have we have somebody to call when we do need assistance. And also, there's some really good documentation on the help side of things on your web page. And yeah, it's just been overall a good experience for our technicians. They typically come back with feedback saying how easy they were to install, and that obviously makes for less time on site, so the client doesn't have to book off the space for as long. And it's just overall great experience from end to end for the customers.
Thanks, Tim. That's really, really helpful. Glad to hear that you've had great experience with not only product support, but also customer service. So what we're trying to do here is make it easy for installers and integrators and sales, basically from start to finish. So to get a little bit more specific here, so what would you say are two main characteristics about products that TOA makes that stand out for you? And this can be any product. Doesn't have to be something you've installed, something you're looking at, something you're going to consider down the line. What do you think?
Again, first off, yeah, I would like to say sound quality is great in the whole TOA product line. We really love the line array products that you guys have come out with. We've integrated them in a few warehouses now and a few meeting spaces, corporate environments, some religious spaces, and they've really stood out to us. We really do also like the M9000 series digital mixer amplifiers. They provide quite a bit of flexibility when it comes to the actual integration aspects of the project, whether it be creating custom control through a control processor, or just some routing that we usually wouldn't do on a daily basis. Those products have really shined for us in the past. But again, as I said before, the reliability is definitely key for us in terms of making sure our clients are satisfied, because you know, a system working and maintained is always a happy customer. They typically like to have 100% uptime in a lot of the systems that we put in.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Tim. Thanks a lot. Yeah, and especially with the 9000, that is like our workhorse product. So, you know, using that, you can almost guarantee yourself an easy installation and really easy use with a lot of reliability. Now, to talk a little bit more about interacting with on the sales side or on the installation and support side, we're going to talk a little bit about TOA's product and technical support department. So, not to brag, but we have a very knowledgeable and dedicated team at TOA. And tell us a little bit about your experience when engaging our technical support staff in terms of designs, you know, responding to RFPs, or working with a product that you've just installed that you might need a little bit of help with. What kind of interactions have you had, whether it be you or your installers, that have come back to the TOA tech department?
Well, being a designer myself, what we would usually do is we'd receive CAD drawings from the client for any type of new space that we're working in conjunction with the client on. So what we would do is we would reach out to you guys at the pre-sales or design support team. We'd provide you guys the drawings. We'd provide you guys, some information on what the client's trying to achieve, what we want to try to achieve within that space. You guys are really prompt at getting, ease renderings done, also some mock-ups of the space with your products included. So again, as a designer, I really like the fact that you guys are able to assist with that side of things, and we're able to present that as part of our proposal to our clients. Again, having the ability to call in to your technical support team and sometimes even within minutes be able to access a technical resource for myself, or again, any of our technicians in the field, or another one of our designers. It's again, fantastic experience, and this is kind of what we try to do for our clients, is when they have an issue on site, or if they need something that needs attention brought to, we're able to assist them just as quickly. So it really works well for us as a firm.
Yeah, and that's really it. The end goal is to give the customer the best system that meets the needs, plus a little bit of advantages here and there based off of the reliability and performance of our equipment. So we're always happy to work with Century Audiovisual and any other integrator in terms of design. Glad that you've utilized our ease renderings, because like I say, it's always hard. You can't see sound. You can't see what a speaker's doing. So the ease rendering really gives you something to bring back to your client and say, this is exactly how your space is going to look like. It's almost like they can experience it before they actually have it. So I'm really happy to hear that you've utilized those products and those services. So Tim, I got one last question for you before I let you go, because you're probably getting hungry close to lunchtime. So tell me about something, tell me about an installation that really stands out, like a really cool installation that stood out in your mind, where you used some TOA equipment and the end user was just completely blown away with it. Like, what's your like pinnacle TOA solution that left your customer just floored?
Yeah, so I really wish I could narrow in onto one of the installs that we've done using the TOA product line. Again, there's so many success stories with our clients. But if I were to choose one, we were able to utilize your F-Series ceiling speakers, your F-Series box speakers, your multi-channel amplifiers, and your M9000 series digital mixers into a facility-wide integration a few years back, where we were able to utilize some of the TOA control protocol that you have in your help base to design a custom interface for the client to be able to independently control the music levels, the paging levels per zone in their facility. Something where one of their technical staff can log in and easily just make adjustments to the volume levels at any particular time. They're also able to change channels on their SiriusXM radio through the same web interface. So the TOA product line really enabled us to provide this great, reliable user experience. And again, as I said, reliability has been fantastic. This is a number of years ago when we put in this system, and again, there's been no complaints, no service issues. It integrated really well with their ShoreTel PBX system. So yeah, as I said, this is just one of the fantastic stories I have in terms of client success utilizing the product line.
Well, that's some great feedback. And like we said, we don't want feedback all the time because that means something could be wrong. But in this case, nothing wrong. No noise, no bad news. No, we're really glad to have you, and really glad that you've been able to sit down with us and kind of chat about your interactions with us and how you've worked with TOA Canada. And it sounds like in that typical example, or in that specific example, you were really able to kind of go beyond just one product and beyond one system and give them like a whole complete system using a little bit of your pieces of equipment, a little bit of ours, and really bring it all together to make something great for that client. Well, I would like to say that that's an excellent start to Sounding Off with Mike. I hope you all enjoyed it as well. Go to TOA's YouTube channel for more Mic'd Up with Mike series videos, and keep your eye open for more Sounding Off with Mike videos. Another big shout out to Tim Guerin from Century Audio Visual. Thanks again for coming in and chatting with us today, and have a good night, everyone.